I'm Sarah, this is Abby, and welcome to A Swool Unlimited. I'm a scuba instructor, and I lived in my van for a little over 3 years after living abroad as a dive shop owner. Now I'm living in an old sailboat with the hopes of sailing and diving around the Pacific Northwest and beyond. On this channel, you'll get scuba lessons, dive site explorations, and sailing adventures. Join the community here on YouTube or come diving with me around the world on one of my expeditions.
It's gold. Before we get into today's video, I just want to give a big shout out to Dan, Divers Alert Network. They're the only company that I trust for my travel and diving insurance as I lead trips around the world. They also have fantastic safety gear for scuba diving, like this O2 kit. They really have you covered when it comes to safety. So if you want to check out their gear or travel and diving insurance policies, check out the links in the description below. Let's get into the video. I don't think you can properly see this, but that is ice on my boat. Oh, Lord. Let's go to Mexico.
Arriving in Baja this year was different. I flew instead of driving the van, so I planned to be a home dweller for a month at a simple Airbnb in Cabo San Lucas. However, upon arrival, I ran into problems. The studio owner didn't want to host me unless I canceled with Airbnb and paid him directly. His behavior was bizarre, so I booked another place that was wildly out of my budget, but was available for late check-in. A few other weird things happened with client accommodations, but I shook off the missteps and prepared myself for my Baja Dive expeditions.
Welcome to my Airbnb, which was not supposed to be my Airbnb. What you doing? Are you organizing my stuff?
No.
This is what happens when a Virgo and Sagittarius travel.
Trademark our territory.
So unlimited.
Put up the flag.
Ooh.
Oh.
Swag bags. Thank you.
Even though this is my third year running trips to Cabo San Lucas with the help of Dive Ninja expeditions, I still get nervous anytime I'm bringing a group of people together. However, I will admit that this year I experienced something I never anticipated, which I'll get into later in the video. When you bring a group together, you never really know what the dynamic will be.
Bam! Let's go!
For me, there's also an element of pressure to live up to whatever expectation people have of me based on what they see online. I first confronted this imposter syndrome through a course called The Artist's Way, which is a book designed as a 12-week course to help people reconnect with their creative side. I first completed the course about a year after moving into my van. The creation of my Patreon community and the Baja Dive expedition were the direct results of that work. My biggest takeaway was to be brave. I've always considered myself a brave person, but all the loss of 2020 hit me really hard. One of the quotes from the book has lived rent-free in my mind ever since. Leap and the net will appear. Taking a leap of faith includes letting go of expectations of the result, and my leap of faith led me to guiding these trips. Of course, the benefit of running scuba diving trips is that we all have at least one thing in common: our love for the ocean. I didn't have anything to be worried about, though. This group was eclectic, with people representing Hungary, Poland, Venezuela, and the United States, and we quickly bonded while enjoying the surprisingly cool weather. The water temperature dropped early this year down to a balmy 21 degrees Celsius. With the drop in temperature, we were blessed with the most gorgeous visibility I've seen in the wintertime here. On this trip, I got more familiar with using the Insta360 camera. I've found that this camera is great for capturing footage of divers and any other large subject. It's especially good at cleaning up underwater footage and making the subject pop when there's plenty of light. When I'm guiding trips, I don't tend to bring my larger camera setup because my focus is on my divers and their needs. Once I'm familiar with a group, I will bust it out, but I still deprioritize capturing footage because I don't believe that's why people pay to go out diving with me. I focus on finding critters and having a laugh. That said, I did take my Sony ZV-1 on the night dive, and we had a funny encounter with a moray eel who used our dive lights to unsuccessfully hunt the entire dive. Honestly, I think it was just on a mission to cause mayhem rather than actually have a meal. Then we went to Cabo Pulmo and got a lucky draw with the dive site lottery. We went out to find the bull sharks. Cabo Pulmo works a little differently than other dive locations in Baja, so if you're interested in learning more, I've linked my full Cabo Pulmo video in the description below. We also had a magical day in Gordo Banks. This isn't part of the typical Baja Dive Expedition itinerary, but can be an add-on for advanced divers in the group. Gordo Banks is tricky because it's a high-risk, high-reward dive location. There may be nothing, and you dive in the blue all day. Or you could see hammerheads, whales, or any number of pelagic creatures cruising through the corridor. This particular day, we saw the hammerhead scouts on the first dive, which meant the school was in the area, so we planned to dive the same spot a second time. A shiver of hammerheads works that way. A couple of scout sharks will check out different sounds in the area to assess if it's safe. Then, the whole group can show up. We had hundreds of hammerheads swimming around us, most of them too far for my camera to capture, so we all just enjoyed the show. A couple of things to remember about doing deep, blue water dives like this are your maximum depth and bottom time. During the first dive, when we were waiting for the scouts, I saved my bottom time and stayed a little shallower than most in the group. Then, when we got the show during the second dive, I could hang with the sharks and still stay within my no decompression limits. I will say, if you can afford it, and if the dive shop can accommodate it, a day of technical diving out here could be super magical. The Gulf of California is a vibrant hotspot of ocean biodiversity. Its unique geography, warmer water, nutrient-rich upwellings, and deep underwater canyons creates the perfect environment for marine life. This biodiversity haven supports an incredible array of pelagic species, including various sharks, dolphins, and majestic whales such as humpbacks, blue whales, and orcas.
Not too shabby, hey? Someday, that is gonna be me out there. It's kung fu fun. Too far. Chris.
Seasonal migrations bring these creatures here, offering unparalleled opportunities to witness ocean giants in their natural habitat. That's why the day trip to La Paz continues to be a crowd favorite on this trip. Young whale sharks show up in the wintertime to feed in the Bay of La Paz. Because of the strict regulations, it's one of the only places I would ever go to swim with whale sharks. La Paz is also a hotspot for marine biologists, so there's always a lot of research going on in the area, as you can see by these trackers placed on the whale sharks. The first trip ended before the holidays, giving me plenty of time to prepare for my next trip, and this is where I experienced something totally new. I wasn't nervous about bringing this group together. This was my first ever LGBTQIA+ trip where all participants identified as part of the community. The trip was actually created because I met another queer van lifer while camping on a beach in Baja last year. They expressed an interest in getting over their fear of water, so we devised a plan to do just that and open the experience up to others.
On the wrong side. Today is a very exciting day because I'm starting my LGBTQIA+ Baja Dive Expedition. People have started to arrive. We're gonna go with the open water course students first. So we have a couple of days of just coursework, and then other people arrive for the full Baja Dive Expedition. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. Hallelujah. We have full dedication to Stream to See sunscreen.
Send that to your mineral people.
I don't even know what I look like.
Yeah, well,
Here, you can see it here.
it's good. You're not.
Actually, let's put on the blindfolds. Are we ready? Yes.
Underwater visibility.
I felt safe and comfortable leading this group. I had never acknowledged it before, but I'm always slightly on edge with people until I know they are an ally. I only just came out online last summer, and it was one of the scariest things I've done on this platform because of how emboldened people feel when protected by the anonymity of a keyboard.
Let's go diving.
Some people who aren't in a marginalized group will minimize the importance of trips like this. They will say things like, "This isn't a problem in scuba diving. This doesn't have anything to do with scuba diving. Shut up, no one cares." And that's why I wanted to run this trip. I was, and sometimes still am, scared to be fully myself in the scuba diving community, even though I've been in the industry for over a decade. It's scary going into a space not knowing how people will treat you or if you'll even be respected as a human being. I know that means there are tons of people who have probably never even considered trying the sport for the same reason. And the cool thing, during this trip, we had 3 people become divers, and the person who was terrified of water, well, they bravely completed 3 scuba dives and ended the trip swimming with whale sharks. I really couldn't be more proud. Helping people face their fears is one of my greatest passions. So, as the weight of hatred reigns on my community in the United States, I'm pushing myself toward bravery to speak up and create a safe space for people. We just want to exist and experience joy. And queer joy is exactly what this trip was all about.
What if I rub it up? Like, it'll get up there, right?
Yeah, just smear it around a bit.
See, this is good for lymphatic drainage. Welcome to my channel. It is called lymphatic drainage with sunscreen on a boat. So you go upwards and you drain it through and dump it down, and up, and down. And you go up, don't forget the eyebrows.
You were born for this.
Subscribe to my channel. My links are below.
That rock is pretty much a symbol of the city of La Paz.
Oh yeah,
Wow, that was a big.
that thing is huge.
Yeah, that was a big.
Follow this. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, that's freaking me out. What are they?
Selves.
Look at see, say hi.
No. God. All right, what do we think of it?
Horrible time.
Horrible time.
Wouldn't recommend. It's just too much fun. You know, once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't.
It's ridiculous.
Brookie, what do you think?
It was Boss City. I had a fantastic time, and I love all my dudes.
Said Boss City.
Boss City, I like that. Yeah, do we like scuba diving?
Absolutely.
Scuba's where it's at, y'all.
How's Cabo? What do you think?
It's great.
Yeah? Beautiful. Oh God.
I don't know about this. I don't know.
Oh yeah, bring it down.
We gotta get our phone picture taken. All right.
This is a video, so.
That's even more embarrassing. All right, let's meet later. Okay, at the Apple shop? Yeah. All right. All right.
I think we all need coffee.
Get some
El motor and todo. So they're coming super close because we stopped the boat. You understood? Those guys are not chasing us. I'm so happy. They shake it up. Okay, awesome. There we go. Yeah.
You guys just got here?
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, come to Baja, get scuba certified,
A regular.
get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look so cute.
I love that you have like those styling glasses on while you're getting tagged.
Got tarot going on.
We're all doing more than one thing.
Saying goodbye to this group felt like the end of summer camp.
Yeah, that was the experience.
It's always a lot of work preparing and running these expeditions, and it's worth it every time. I have the next batch of trips set for 2025 and 2026, so you can see the details on my website. I'm also making plans for new locations with the same vibe, small groups and great diving. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you underwater soon. Okay, love you, bye.